Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video I want to talk to you about the phenomenon known as the University of YouTube. If you've ever been in a photography group and you've seen somebody post something asking for a good course on Photoshop, something on lighting, anything in relation to photography, you will sooner or later have seen somebody reply, YouTube University. YouTube University is all you need. Well, I just want to say YouTube is not a university. YouTube is not a formal education. YouTube is a useful tool, and I'll explain why. When you go to university or to any informal institution to study a subject, what you will study is a syllabus that has been designed to make sure that you are building on your knowledge. So you start off learning the basics, you learn a little bit more, and you always need that information that you've learned before in order to move forward. That syllabus has been designed for you by an expert in the field, probably more than one if it's a good institution, and the aim is for you to learn set things by the end of the course. That is a formal education. That is what you learn at university. You do not get that on YouTube. Now, what you do get on YouTube is really useful. If you have a specific question and you understand the question, like, for example, how to make a backdrop completely white, or how to remove a pimple in Photoshop, or how to replace an eye, or how to change the direction somebody's looking at, or anything specific that you specifically want to solve, and you understand the question and the process that you want to go through yourself, YouTube is perfect. Type it in, you'll get 20 answers, you'll flick through them, you'll find one that works for you. Another thing YouTube is good for is like in a photography magazine. I don't know if any of you still buy those. I get British Journal of Photography, which isn't that sort of magazine, but things like amateur photographer magazines like that, they will have inspiration and ideas in, maybe techniques for you to try, things that you should look at, gear reviews, bits and pieces of information. YouTube, fantastic for that sort of thing. If you have, like I do, I subscribe to about 200 photography channels. I flick through my subscription list. I look for things that are interesting to me. Sometimes even things that aren't interesting to me. I don't do landscape photography, but I do watch landscape photography videos, and I'll often find something in there that I think, I could use that in my work. Inspiration. YouTube's great for that. Now, I've heard people say that you could use YouTube, design your own syllabus, then you would go through and you would do your searches and you would assign videos and you would build up your own little course in order to learn something via YouTube. Big problem with that. Multiple problems with that, in fact. Firstly, you don't know what you don't know. There's a reason when you go to university that you don't design the syllabus, that an expert does, because there will be things that you simply do not know because you do not know enough about the subject yet. So it's very difficult to design your own syllabus. And equally, any question you have on YouTube, as you probably already know, there is 20 answers. There is 20 videos. How do you know which one's the good one? You're going to watch them all? This is a very big waste of your time. You could spend forever doing this and not really move forward. So I'm going to make a leap here and assume that you don't want to go to university. You probably have a life, a job. You might even already operate as a photographer. You might simply see it as a hobby and not something that you want to go and study further in a formal setting. What can you do if you actually want to learn in a meaningful, structured way? Well, there's a few things, really. First of all, there's books. Second of all, there is online classes. And third, there is in-person classes and workshops, varying in range of price. You'll find on this channel, and I'll link to it at the end, that I do book reviews, photography book reviews. Very few people watch them. They're the least watched thing on my channel, but I'll keep doing them. And I'll keep doing them for one reason. They're important. Books are the cheapest way to learn. They are often the most comprehensive way to learn, and you can refer back to them. Books will have a lot more detail in them than workshops and online courses an awful lot of the time. They've been put together with a structure. They've been put together with an idea in mind. They've usually had multiple editors go over them to make sure they're clear and concise, and you can follow them and you can refer back to them. And if you get a book and you read it and you work through the workbooks or whatever else is in the book to help you learn, once you're done, if you don't think you need it again, you can sell it and get back most of the money you paid for it. And you could have bought it secondhand in the first place. Stepping up in cost and a different learning method are online courses. Off the top of my head, I can think of F-Stoppers sell courses, one-off courses. Kelby 1 do something that is more like a formal education in that they have a website with, I was going to say millions, but there's not millions, lots and lots of courses put together by experts, and they have designed what they call learning tracks. So you can log into Kelby 1, you can say, I want to be a portrait photographer, and they will suggest the classes you do and the order you do them in the same way that a university would put together classes for you to cover your syllabus, to meet your degree. Then we have things like Skillshare and Udemy. People like individuals put courses on there. You'll often find some quite good value on there. Some of the courses I think can be a little bit superficial on sites like that, but they're normally more in depth than you'll get on YouTube, and they are more structured, and that's the really important thing, that they are structured. Then we have places where you can buy one-off courses and one-off things when you want to learn something quite specific. So we have ProEdu, F-Stoppers, which I mentioned before, Creative Live, and there are quite a few others out there as well who sell individual one-off courses and workshops that you can use to learn specific things. They're normally done online. You watch the videos, you'll work through. They'll often provide you with raw files and things like that, so you can work on the editing in the same way as the course leader is. And those are generally very good. They're structured, and then usually have a process for you to work through in order to achieve the learning objectives. Beyond that, there are workshops, face-to-face, in-person workshops that different photographers run around the country, wherever you happen to be located. Not many of those happen in the days of COVID, but they do exist, and they can be an opportunity to take things one step further and be able to interact a bit more and raise your questions. All those sites like Kelby 1, etc. do allow members to ask questions of the course leader. So they're there, but that's a step up in expense. Basically, books are the cheapest. Online courses are probably the next cost, although they come on sale a lot. And there's a thing once a year called the 5-day deal where you can get a load of them in one go for not a lot of money. And then there is in-person workshops, which tend to be more expensive. Okay, so you can't design a syllabus on YouTube and you can't follow it and learn everything you need to learn. But what you can do is, in most professions, you will do something called CPD, Continuing Professional Development. Now you've got the foundational knowledge of your industry and the experience of doing things, you will start to learn what you're good at, what you're bad at, where the holes in your knowledge are, and you can design a syllabus around that. So you probably could use YouTube for that, although I personally would recommend that if you really can pinpoint what you need to learn, that workshops, books and courses are probably better anyway. But anyway, YouTube can do that. But for me, YouTube is not a university. YouTube is there for inspiration, and it's there to solve very specific problems very quickly. Okay, so what do you think? I obviously don't think YouTube's a university, but there's some awesome content out there. I'd be really interested in knowing what resources you think are out there that are particularly good, either on YouTube or off YouTube. So if you could post a comment down below, let us know. Particularly interested in books that you think I should review and online courses. That would be really helpful. At the end of this video though, I've built a playlist of videos that I think are awesome, that are on YouTube, that go into things in much more depth than the average YouTube video does. There's not a lot on there, quite frankly. But if you have anything that you think I should add to that list, then please add the link to it in the comment down below. And I will update the list, and I'll make sure it's linked on the end screen of this video for you.